Gospel on the beat, praise, sing song.
Good day, viewers. My name is Comr Lancelot, Allison. By the grace of God, I am one of the presidential aspirants for the Student Union Government Election, Rivers State University. I am a mechanical engineering student, level 300.
Praise, sing song.
As a 300 level student in my year one, I lived in the hostel. I have taken my time to understand the problems which students are facing, and one of them is student welfare, and it is very elaborate. Student welfare is big. We are looking at how we can actually bring development partners to the round table. Development partners like WHO, development partners like FHI 360, development partners like CIDAS, and government agencies, Ministry of Health, and more of them, to see how far we could be able to draw them to a round table for us to actually look at how we can provide funds. And that is why my administration has taken it as a key duty to establish what I call 100 million naira student medical insurance scheme. This scheme will run for the complete 12 months of my administration. On different occasions, we'll see how far we could be able to gather captains of the industries, firms, owners of firms, politicians, leaders from different walks of life to come together and contribute their own quota to the good of unionism on campus. Another way I've actually looked into is clean environment. One thing I experienced as a student in ROSU is that as a student who stays in the hostel, there used to be very large mosquitoes in the hostel. And these mosquitoes are very, very much deadly. When I mean deadly, they are very deadly. They can actually frustrate one from sleeping, having a good sleep, and you know the effect of not having proper sleep. The next morning, the brain might not be able to function in its full capacity. But I believe that as a student union government president, one thing I would make sure I do is to ensure that I do a regular fumigation of the student hostel environment. This will chase away rodents and every other creeping insects, and also the mosquito. That will then reduce the rate at which students are having malaria, which is also going to replicate into reduced medical costs. Another thing I have looked at is the educational aspect of it. When you go to the classrooms are messed up. We are going to engage the student community into doing what they call proper cleaning. There has never been what they call a sanitation day on campus. The general sanitation day is not observed on campus. Though regularly students clean their hostels, but we have to look at it and bring it out, just not for hostels alone, but also for the entire school environment, so that we can have a very beautiful, serene environment for learning. And one thing I wish to do is to ensure that when it has to do with hygiene. If you go to some of our hostels, you see a cafeteria that is very close to a refuse dump. This refuse dump actually is not proper. How will you have a cafeteria close to a refuse dump? It's not hygienic. So I will ensure that every cafeteria is properly located, and we are going to harness the activities of our food science students, so that at least the little they have learned so far, they can actually put it to practice. Let us see how far we'll be able to make a healthy environment for our students. Another thing is the advanced learning environment. I've witnessed a class where we have close to 200 students, and the lecturer is teaching in front without the aid, without an audio enhancement, voice enhancement equipment. You have the lecturer talking to the student, and it seems like the students cannot perform to their own maximization. Their brain is that's their cases. This gives rise to cases where we have students who are good in secondary school and they come to the university and they are not as good as you think they should be. It is because of the uncomfortable learning environment and inability to hear clearly when the lecturer is teaching, and the congestion in classrooms. How do we intend to attend to this issue? We thank God that our governor has been able to build us massive different types of faculties with classrooms, so there wouldn't be need for us to start congesting ourselves. Please, we are also going to see how far we could be able to beg the management to recruit more lecturers, so that we don't have combined departmental lectures, so that students in a particular department can take lecture comfortably and conveniently. Then we'll look at how we can be able to put an audio enhancement, a voice enhancement equipment like a speaker or a microphone, as little as those who can that can run on batteries, so that it can be very, very easy to maintain. And also ensure that we get the departmental president and the faculty president within that facility, within the faculty, to ensure that they maintain this thing from time to time. They are also part of the State Union government. We also intend to site what we call Wi-Fi zone on every faculty. We can locate it at one location, and then at the end of every day, you can actually, a student can comfortably go to that Wi-Fi zone and then do a research, log onto the internet and do a research, and then get response. That is the way we can actually enhance learning. Another thing we wish to do is an improved security system. Improved security system is something that security, like we all know, is a very sensitive issue, and I do not wish to do it on, say, my tactics and strategies I wish to apply on the public. But I believe that my administration will see to the fact that every student can walk in the campus free, without fear of any form of harassment or extortion or whatsoever. I also believe that our social lives have actually diminished drastically. It is because that the only time we actually socialize is during our SUG weeks. But one thing I know that I have in mind is to ensure that at least every Wednesday we ought to have on our timetable what is called sports. It's actually free from 12 to 4 to the end of the day. It's free. Wednesdays are half day. So inside 4 Wednesdays of the week, I believe that I can actually meet with the management with liars, and let's see how to use the convocation arena to actually host programs that will bring students together, programs that will have to invite guest artists and guest speakers, especially our alumni, so that they can come and then enlighten us on what we are expecting. And those of them who have talent, we can also develop. They can also come to us, express their talent. Those that can dance, we dance. Those that are beauticians, those that are pageantries. There are a lot of them practicing it in this school here. We have to actually encourage them on a monthly basis. It shouldn't be once in a year stuff. I will also ensure that I'll give what I call free interest loan. There are students who have paid school fees from the beginning of their stay in this school till those very moments. Perhaps especially those students who are in final year. Some of them are self-sponsored students, and they still find it difficult to pay their school fees. My administration will look into it critically, and will legislatively allot a particular amount of money that will be set aside for free interest loan. This free interest loan will be given to students who have not been able to pay their school fees. At least, if it is to subsidize it to at least 50%, and if your school fees is 40,000 naira, we'll pay 20,000 naira for you, and you pay the remaining 20,000 naira. That we'll see how we'll actually divide it, and then look at how many faculties we could be able to affect, and inside the faculties, how many departments we could be able to actually get to. A particular amount of money will be set aside, and also we'll seek funds from development partners in order to be able to address the issue of funds. One thing I know that my government will do is to be very much accessible. And what are the policies I have laid down in order to make my administration accessible? One, I have outlined that the fact that the student union government is far away from the student community. The government should not be for the people up there. It should be with the people and by the people. And the things I have laid down is, one, every week, every 4 Wednesdays in the week, I will ensure that at least one Wednesday will be used to actually attend to the student community, and I will call it visitation hour. This visitation hour will be very much, it's when I will actually make myself very much accessible. At least students can comfortably come to the SUG president's office and lay complaints, and we listen to them, we interact, and we talk together. I will also ensure that my executives from time to time will be sent out to go to and do what they call opinion poll. Opinion poll in the sense that they will go to classrooms, they will go to hostels, they will go to cafeterias, and they would interact with these people and then give me feedback. I have also ensured that as part of the ways I intend to actually pull the opinions of the students, we'll have what they call suggestion box. This suggestion box will be made available in the secretariats, SCG Student Union Secretariats, where students who have opinions, who have suggestions, and who have complaints can do it in a little note, especially those who want to be anonymous, can do it in a little note and then drop it in the opinion box. And on weekly basis, my executives or a committee that I will set up will actually be analyzing the opinions that will be flowing in. This is a way of gathering the opinions of the students and ensuring that the student's desire is our driving force for our policy. And I also ensure that I will be transparent enough. I will create what modalities have I put on ground to ensure that the transparency is my watchword. As I speak to you, the student union government, the student community does not know what the student union government is doing with the time they have given to them. One thing I will do is to ensure that I will create an online diary where we would on regular basis be updating it on the activities of the union, so that you can comfortably at anywhere you are, you can look at the diary and say, okay, at this material hour, our student union government is doing this. At this material hour, they are doing this. It wouldn't be some sort of distant government from the students. I have also ensured that I will not assume. I believe that the student union government have the opinion. The student community have the opinion. It is my duty to actually cry out to the management on what the yearnings and plea of the students are. As a student union government, I am a mediator between the student community and the management. I will ensure that, bearing in mind that it is the student union, the power of the student community that I am actually sitting on, I will lobby and beg the management to come to the aid of the students. The collection or collective ideas of the students should be the principal forces of our policies. Come 3rd of August, students should come out en masse, cast their votes. It's an e-voting system. The site is evoting.rsu.edu.ng. Log on to the site using your username and password and vote the candidates of your choice. If you want this our dream to come true, then vote Comr Lancelot, see Allison, for a transparent leadership 28.
I'm on a woo, baby, bag away, they make my